Hi everybody, it's Lady Mal. Okay, with this vlog, I will be caught up for the month, week, whatever. This vlog, I am focusing on Therian. Now, and I apologize, I will be looking back and forth. I've got stuff on my computer, I've got stuff written down, so if I'm not looking right at you, I apologize. Also, I apologize for this horrible light, but it is so dark outside. I mean, you can see light right now, right over here, but it's been raining. Like, we've been under flash flood warnings. A couple of nearby places here have been completely flooded. It's crazy. I'm serious. Like, during the summer, it never rains this much. Like, maybe in the afternoon, after it's gotten real hot, the afternoon heating and whatever, it might shower for like 3 minutes and that's it. The only time we get this much rain is if there's one of those storms out there that starts with an H that's a screwed up H, but whatever. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to jinx it. But yeah, it's been crazy, so I apologize for the lighting and stuff. So anyway, Therians. My daddy is a Therian, and I am trying to get in touch with my inner Therian, I guess you could say. I've never really felt, well, I guess I have felt a connection with animals, but not on that level. Okay, anyway, so the textbook definition of a Therian is a person with the heart and or soul of an animal. And now what that animal is different for each person. I personally associate more with cats. My daddy is most definitely a wolf. I've seen lots of wolves, lots of foxes, bears, any kind of feline, coyotes. It really, it's individual. It's up to the individual person. Some of the characteristics of Therian. So this isn't like, this is what a Therian is. I interviewed my daddy and a couple of people on FetLife, and this is what I got. Excuse me while I get my notes. They generally act like the animal they are, i.e. growling, pacing. Some wolves are monogamous, like my daddy. Anything else to them feels unnatural. Many of them do have pack mentality, though some are lone wolves, literally and figuratively. And when multiple Therians get in a group, a lot of times it's very much the pack mentality. They suss out who's going to be alpha, who's going to be beta, who's going to be alpha female, things like that. A lot of people, if you're not Therian, looking at it, it can come off that it's a lot of, like male bravado, like testosterone filled, oh, ugh, beat your chest, that sort of thing. But if you're a Therian, that's really, I mean, it sort of is that, but it's not. They're doing it to be conceited or to be a misogynistic asshole. That's just the way they are. And it does take a little bit of getting used to. Even with my daddy, I had to get used to it. I mean, he doesn't show those traits a lot, but he does show them, and it's one of those, I had to step back and go, wait, what are you doing? Oh, okay, light bulb went off. Got it. There are some negatives to it. If you're a Therian, but your partner isn't, they have a hard time understanding it, and you got to approach them gently, just like with any other kink that you're talking to somebody that maybe they're into and maybe they're not. A lot of times, most people will understand, but some people can't handle it because from personal experience, and I have the scars to prove it, there is a lot of biting and scratching and what most people would consider rough play. And I mean, I'm okay with that because I'm a masochist, so it never really bothered me, but I can see where maybe if you're not a masochist, where that might be a problem. And even if you are a Therian with another Therian, there are still problems. Again, you have the clashing of wills on who's going to be alpha or whatnot if there's a pack. Also, a lot of times they will act like a animal in a pack. If someone senses a weakness in the alpha, they'll go after them. And that happened with my daddy. He was in a pack, and I'm not going to name names. I'm just going to refer in vague terms like I normally do. This other person sensed a weakness in him and betrayed him in a way that was actually pretty crappy. Um, you know, hacking account, well, not really hacking, but guessing a password and changing things without his permission, and it blew up. It was bad. But that's another issue, is if they see a sense of weakness, they're going to go after your throat for it. If you're not a Therian, you do have to understand that it's going to take some getting used to. A lot of people also associate being a Therian with having like spirit guides or spirit animals. And that I can relate to, because even though I am a church going little girl, every Sunday and Wednesday I'm in the choir, I'm in the handbells, whole 9 yards, I still do believe in spirit guides. And I have like 2.5. I have one that's a dragon, and I have one whose name is Bo, and he's a wolf. And there's Big B Bo and Little B Bo, i.e. my dominant side and my submissive side, but not so much dominant, more protector. It tends to come around when I need help and I don't realize I need help. And, so in that case, I kind of do have a connection to the Therian, and that's why it wasn't so odd to me when I started talking to my daddy about it. And this was years ago. And I started to realize that, yeah, maybe I do, because I am very much like a feline. I'm very much a loner. I don't like being in big groups. I'd rather be by myself or in a very small group. I like to be petted. I like to be scritched and cuddled. But then again, I also get in my moods where I don't want anybody to touch me. And it's not any one thing that I can put my finger on. I just don't want to be touched. Even by my daddy, it's like, hands off. I gotta have my space. I'm gonna be a skittish cat. And that's okay with me. And that's okay with my daddy, too. It works out. So, yeah, another thing is a lot of people have, I won't call it a misconception, but they tend to think that, wolves are controlled by the cycles of the moon. No, they're not controlled by the cycles of the moon. That's werewolves, which there are also groups for lycanthropy, which is the word for if you change from a human into an animal. Sorry. But, you're not controlled by the moon. But there have been studies done that have proven that, and this is my cat, Daryl. I was wondering if any of my cats were going to make an appearance here. Anyway, yes, he's Daryl, after Daryl from Walking Dead. Anyway, there have been studies done that have proven that while the moon doesn't control us as human beings, but the moon does control quite a lot of things like the tides. It does have an effect on our moods and our attitudes and things like that. And around the full moon, I can tell it's almost the full moon even before I look, because there are certain signs. My daddy gets a little more horny, he gets a little more rough, he gets a little more aggressive, and I get a lot more pissy. That's all there is to it. So yeah, while we may not be controlled by the moon like werewolves, we are affected by the moon, because the moon affects the magnetic field of the earth, and magnetic fields affect us because we also have magnetic fields. So everything just kind of goes in flux. So yeah, while we may not be controlled, we are affected. But that's not a bad thing. You just have to learn how to deal with it. There is a group on FetLife, and I've been reading through quite a few of them, and I asked permission to mention their name because I thought they were really good. It's called the Therian Otherkin Connection, and otherkin is another word for a Therian, a lycanthrope, an anamorph, whatever you want to call it. There's so many names, I could go on for days. But if you're interested in it, or if you are a Therian, you should check out that group. It's not that bad. I've been reading some of their stuff, and it's very informative, and they're very nice. And so, yeah. One thing that is completely unrelated to Therian was a quote that one of my fans and friends on FetLife posted the other day, and I was like, I love this. This is freaking awesome. Hello, Daryl. It's by a girl named Kitten Calliope, who says, I hate seeing subs say that they are wanting to be made into a sissy or feminized without taking steps to show they are serious on their own or saying what they can offer in exchange. Same with subs who are new and say that they are into everything kinky. I wonder if they are into snuff fantasy made real, or amputations, or impalement. I'm not, however, I'm not making blanket statements like that. They draw the wrong people to their inexperienced and they can be abused. And that's the truth, because they can. You can't say, oh, I'm into everything, because you just opened a whole can of oh crap. You need to be very specific what you're into, what you're willing to experiment with, and whatnot. And for the record, and I'm sure I'm going to make somebody mad, and if I am, too bad, I don't care. If some person hits another person hard enough to give them a black eye, that, my friends, is not BDSM. That is abuse, plain and simple. I'm sorry. If you want to have the crap beat out of you, that's fine. You know, do it safely, but closed hand punching someone in the face, you can do major freaking damage. You could break their eye socket, their nose, their cheekbone, their forehead, skull, I couldn't think of the word, sorry. Their jaw, I mean, come on. Even if you say, oh, they did it and I was okay with it, I deserved it, I wanted it. Well, first, when you say I deserved it, that's the first hallmark of battered woman person syndrome. I'm sorry. If any man or woman ever punched me, that would be the end of it. I'm sorry. You do not do that. There are rules, and I mean, it's just not safe. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, get the crap beat out of you, beat your back bloody, cut you up, whatever, but you don't punch. That's my big thing. If you want to slap somebody around, I've been slapped around, and that's okay. But there's a difference between hitting somebody with this part of the hand or this part of the hand when it's open, then closed hand punching, I'm sorry, I had to do it correctly, then closed hand punching someone. This, you are intending to do major damage, and you could do damage that is permanent. It just blows my mind. I can't condone that, and I never will. So I'm sorry if I've made you mad, but that's how I feel, and it's my vlog, so I can say what I want to. So anyway, I hope y'all have enjoyed this, and I will see y'all again next week. I have no idea what I'm going to do, so please give me ideas. Pretty please. All right, I will see y'all later. Y'all have a great day. Mwah. Love y'all. Bye-bye.